Hey, podcast folk, you're going to love this fishing story Jonathan's got today. It's truly astounding.
Astonishing. The names Kaminsky and Runyon will, I think you'll remember them for a long, long time.
Well, were they on Jokes Aren't Funny as well, Sam?
Well,
I'll tell you what, is it too soon? Is it too soon for me to get a tattoo of Kaminsky and Runyon?
No.
Like Pete Davidson did with Kim Kardashian's lawyer stuff.
I don't think you'd have any regrets if
No,
you did, Swanee.
no regrets even. No regrets.
I'd love them to come back, though. Wouldn't you
Yeah.
love a story in 12, 18 months' time where we read the story of redemption?
We are going to keep
there,
a
babe.
close eye on Kaminsky and Runyon.
Wil Anderson,
Gold.
and the great Colin Fassnidge.
Your best friend.
Mate, one of the
Big
great.
fan of yours, Sam.
Instantly recognisable.
Sam had done his research before
mate,
the interview, too.
Absolutely.
Pay attention to the start of that interview. You won't believe your ears.
I mean, it was like Richard Carlton was running it. Darren McMullen also pops in to talk all things Love Boat.
Hey, and by the time you're listening to this podcast,
Yes.
it'll be teeming with rain.
Bullshit.
Especially in Melbourne.
And if not, turn up. Level 2, $10 waiting for you.
Crisp notes. John's handing them out.
Enjoy.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
The podcast.
Good morning, Melbourne. Welcome to your Wednesday. We're here for you, Dino and Jonathan. Now, you've told us off air that the first thing you did this morning is you went out and you smelt the air.
I did. I
Like the
smelled-
good country boy that you are.
Absolutely. I wandered to the car, and the birds are happy.
Okay.
Birds are chirping, so they're up and about, Swanee. They're enjoying it, but it was a distinctive smell.
Of?
Rain.
Really? One of the great years.
Well done, Zito. Oh, yes.
Do you reckon it's coming? This is your favourite.
See, I love Carlisle.
To the rain. Yes.
Now, for all listeners, this wasn't choreographed. This is
Oh.
Dino just off the
Did
top.
you just do this?
I'm riffing, baby.
No, you are riffing.
I'm taking this for a
You're
walk.
the best, but there's a
remix.
distinctive smell when you walk outside this morning. If you're a man of the land,
I know that smell, and I'm not a man of the land, but I
Yes.
didn't smell it this morning.
no,
Maybe I was
it's
rushing.
there. It's there. It's coming. Golf's been cancelled.
Whoa!
Maybe I'm just wishing it because I preempted the golf I preempted the rain coming, so I cancelled golf. So obviously, there's only
a big commitment.
There's only two things. There's only two things that I really struggle with in life. One's driving away from a function envelopeless,
It's
which
a
we've spoken about.
That's rough.
The other is when you preemptively strike and cancel a golf game, and then you sit back on your couch or in the backyard in the afternoon and it doesn't rain.
That's rough.
So, Swanee, maybe
The
it's
depth of despair times two.
maybe I'm leading the witness or maybe I'm leading my nose, but trust me, it's coming today.
Okay, all right. Well,
Say right now to our listeners, 100% it's going to piss down today.
100% it's going to piss down.
it was good to hear Milli Vanilli in that little...
It was too.
This one? On the rain.
I remember one of my favourite memories that you always enjoy when I say it was when Milli Vanilli was a massive sensation here in Australia. Everybody had the vinyl from Brashes. And when it came out that they were lip syncing, that the band members weren't really singing, there was a ceremonial burning of all the vinyl on St Kilda Beach. It was on the news and everything.
Really?
It was like bring down your vinyl. God damn those frauds.
I remember that. I remember that as a kid, Swanee, when that came out. That was huge.
Huge.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
How good is exploring our amazing backyard again?
And ticking off all Aussie big things. Pineapples, bananas, melons.
That's making me hungry.
Head to whatif.com and start planning your big Aussie adventure.
What if it's Aussie for travel?
Now, what's this Essendon business?
Yeah, I've got to address it. It's a big story. I told you, Swanee, I clock off when it comes to AFL in October.
Yeah.
But I've been brought back into the fold this morning by Brodie Pummeroy.
PointsBet Pummeroy.
PointsBet Pomeroy. He said, big fella. He had saliva dripping from his face. He was like a crazy. Remember that dog in the Sandlot, kids?
Yeah, I do.
That
Very
crazy
much.
dog.
The
That was
beast.
The beast. That was like Brodie this morning when I walked in, just salivating at the thought of talking about this Essendon CEO saga, Swanee.
Well, I've got one thing that I've seen on Instagram. Titus has posted a photograph of a man I don't know, I'll be honest, And he said...
Andrew Thorburn,
saying, nice that Essendon's giving everyone a turn to be a CEO for a day. So what does that mean?
It's unbelievable.
Explain it to
Well,
me.
Andrew Thorburn took over as the CEO of the Essendon Football Club for about 2 days, Swanee.
Right, okay.
Now, he's a former board member there. He was also leading the... because... the CEO stood down. Obviously, it's been a debacle, Swanee. The Essendon Footy Club.
Jeez, they're in a mess,
this
aren't they?
off-season, they jumped. They jumped and tried to get in on the Alistair Clarkson sweepstakes.
Yeah.
Whilst they still had a coach, whilst the season was still going on.
Are they cursed, John? They
They're
can't
all-
seem to do anything smart.
No, they can't.
Yeah, smart. That's right.
Smart, exactly right. And then obviously they were all chips in the middle of the table for Alistair Clarkson, and he chose North Melbourne. So then they sort of had to grovel back to their current coach, Ben Rutten. And then obviously Ben Rutten wasn't happy, so he eventually was sacked and he walked away, whatever ended up happening. But then also what was going on was the CEO then walked away, Xavier Campbell, so they had to search for a new CEO. And leading the charge, the head of the appointment panel was this Andrew Thorburn, who was a board member. But all of a sudden, he got the job himself. Almost self-appointed, Swanee. So he gets the job.
It feels like the chocolate game. Someone's rolled a 6 and torn the beanie off Andrew's head, and it's their turn now.
Absolutely. Now, he's a former CEO of the NAB Bank for about 5 or 6 years, so well-credentialed in this area, Swanee.
Yes.
However,
Yes.
In the ensuing 24 hours after his name, it was then outed that he is part of this group, this church group, Church of the Hill, which is City on a Hill. It was founded in 2007, Swanee. Now, that's all good. We're not religious bashing here.
No.
Everyone's got their different religions. We respect that. However, some of their sermons, including one in 2013, which has been on their website, it had controversial views on abortion and homosexuality, Swanee. And one of them likened abortion to concentration camps, amongst other things. So,
In what way?
well, yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
Why didn't
Swanee.
the bank pick up on this when he was working for the bank?
Well, that was interesting. That's right. So it lasted a long time. But anyway, these views have only just come out about the church views and all that. So obviously, it's untenable, Swanee. He came out. He tried to stand by his faith at the Best and Fairest the other night, at the Essendon Best and Fairest. But then he did a radio interview the next morning that was controversial. So people have just really jumped in and said,
Right.
we can't have the CEO of our football club leading us whilst holding these controversial views and being part of a church that has these controversial views, Swanee. And then Dan Andrews later that day came out and layeth the smack down when he said those views are absolutely appalling. I don't support those views. That kind of intolerance, that kind of hatred, bigotry is just wrong. So then David Barham, the president, has called him in for a meeting and said the big dog's not happy, so you're going to have to walk. So unbelievably, Swanee, he's had to step down as the CEO after only about 24 hours.
Oh, my goodness. Whose turn is it next?
Well,
Gut feel? Pluck a duck.
Pluck a duck, you reckon? Fat Cat's dead, isn't he?
No, he's still with
No,
us.
maybe not
Humphrey
Fat
B.
Cat.
Bear?
Humphrey, he'd say nothing.
Yeah, and maybe he would wear pants.
It all comes back to one thing, though, Swanee. Since we knocked him over in the 2001 Grand Final.
This is the Chrissie, Sam and Browny podcast. Darren McMullen. You may know him as the OG presenter of The Voice Australia. Also, the prawn on the first season of The Masked Singer.
That's
And
right.
now he joins Hannah from Below Deck Med on The Love Boat, which starts 7:30pm tonight on 10. And yes, it does have the same original theme. Ha! Great pipes, McMullen.
Is that you singing, Darren
That's
McMullen?
me. And
Wow.
that background sting as well is actually the music that was on my first ever showreel I put together, which got me my job on MTV.
Really?
Wow.
How long ago was that?
That was many moons ago.
Yeah, Jesus.
Many moons ago.
17 years ago, it feels like.
Good singing performance. I've seen the intro to The Love Boat.
Oh, it's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it was very hot. How many takes?
That's one and done, mate.
Oh,
I only
yeah.
did one take.
Now, was there a bit of Milli Vanilli about it? Was there any miming going on? Because it seemed to be, you lip synced it beautifully.
No miming.
No miming.
Original six.
Right.
It's a bit like the
you're
Masked Singer.
Absolutely, you're in the presence of the prawn.
I was the prawn on the Masked Singer.
Sorry, I take that back.
Weirdly, I posted it on my socials when it came out, and a lot of my family members was like, "Oh yeah, who dubbed your voice? As if you can sing." I'm like, "Do you not watch anything I do? Did you not know?" And they were like, "No, not."
No,
really."
they often don't.
They don't
Families,
give a
they're
shit.
good like that, aren't they?
Darren, how seedy was that boat? Did gastro rip through the air vents?
I can't wait.
There was no gastro. No. A lot of
Chlamydia?
syphilis, but no gastro.
No, there was a scandal, wasn't there?
There was a scandal. As it turns out, it was some Channel 7 show, I believe, ultimately. But there was a chlamydia outbreak on Sunday. It was a dating show. I checked everyone individually, guys. Nobody had chlamydia on the
yes.
show.
Lots of Zithromax. He was handing them out.
So much
Box for you.
Zithromax, seasickness tablets, and a little sample of Zithromax.
How do you know what Zithromax
Well,
is?
Dino told me about it.
I told him because a friend of a friend had to take it.
Goodness great. I wouldn't even know that joke.
Now, also, the Love Boat, is there your obligatory sort of bogans from the western suburbs on there as well?
Answer that question.
No, they're classy.
Or are they just, I'm saying, is the boat full?
No, it's full. Yeah. So it's basically 3,500 people are on this ship. We've got a crew of about 200, but we're kind of just taking over a working cruise ship. So
that's cool.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah. Well, it makes for some interesting shooting.
3,500.
3,500 people. Some were happy to see us, and they love and everything it's about. Others not so happy to see us.
True or false? Episode 3: Somalian pirates enter the vessel.
I believe that is true. Yes. Have you seen 3 already?
I have.
Wow, fantastic.
Darren, I want to talk about holiday romances.
Yeah.
And did you... There is a vibe on holiday where you feel like you can just have sex with anyone and there's no consequences.
Do you, Chrissie?
Is this...
It's amazing,
That's
Chris.
interesting.
Is this...
You've had a partner and 3 kids for a long time, Troy.
Not
I've
anymore.
watched
Anyway...
International waters. Is that what you think?
Yeah, I feel like...
Doesn't count. I haven't cheated on my partner. I got
Yeah.
international waters.
It's the postcode rule. Was there definitely that vibe on the boat?
There was a bit of that vibe on the boat. I'd be interested to see how many of the couples are still together, because you do get swept up in it. I do know for a fact that 2 of the couples are still together, which is quite nice.
2 of the couples, that's a good strike
and that's
rate.
just what I know of. So there are perhaps a few others still together, but yeah, you do get, you're going to these beautiful romantic destinations in Tuscany and making wine, or going to Rome and making pizza. It's hard to back that up when you get back to
Well,
it.
it is
So it's
when
not
you're
just-
putting the McCains in
Absolutely.
the air fryer, in Watsonia together. You're like, well, this doesn't feel like it did when we met.
Well, mind you, McCain's in the air fryer. Nothing wrong
That's
with
not
that.
too bad. I
We
agree.
did that last night for dinner.
Yeah.
So you stop, you're not only on the boat, obviously cruising the Mediterranean, which would be unbelievable, but you're stopping in some villages along the way or some little towns along the way.
Cities even.
Cities.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Rome's a city, mate.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Is
Rome
you
on the
said
river?
the little town of Rome.
I didn't know that Rome was on the Mediterranean.
Yeah, well, it is. Well, that's the thing when you're on a cruise ship. You stop in a lot of the gateway to Rome or the
Yes.
gateway to Tuscany. So you get off there and you have to jump in a car and go for a wee trip, which isn't too
So,
shabby.
Darren, this whole time you filmed the show, you had like a big ass like cabin in your own flash cabin.
Yes.
I did have well, it wasn't as flashy. We have this thing, and you can either go on a destination date as a couple, or you can pitch to go on to the upgrade suite, also known as the Bang Bang suite. But once I saw that, I was like, wait, hold on, stand by. That my room isn't as big as this. What's going on here? So I put in a wee word, and by the end of the show, having nagged them for about 3 weeks, they put me in the
Bang Bang suite.
In the Bang Bang suite.
Yeah, good. Yes.
So what else do you want to say about this show?
Yes.
Because you host a lot of stuff. What makes this show amazing to you?
It's just really different. I've seen a bunch of dating shows. We kind of give it a nod to the 70s nostalgia of it all, and play into the cheesiness and the fun of.
Because you're essentially Captain Stoobing.
I guess so. Although
Yes.
we do have a captain on board, Captain Dreamboat.
So are you
He's-
Julie McCoy?
I don't know who I'd be. Really. I'm the guy they never want to see, because usually if I'm showing up, it's to kick someone off the ship. I'm the person that makes them walk the plank.
Oh, okay. So you're
It's a
Captain Hook, if
Captain
you will.
Hook, yes. Arr. So yeah, it's just, and we kind of break that fourth wall, and we leave in the warts and everything, and kind of give a little wink to the audience, and let them in on all the mistakes.
By the way,
so.
Zithromax, also good for what?
Hey, clears up everything. Now, before we let you go, we're going to get a sing out from both you and Swanee.
I'm here to hold your hand on this.
Before we do that, Darren, don't feel bad if you don't recognise me, but 15 years ago, we did an MTV show together, right, where they searched for a VJ.
Yes.
And Bam Margera and you hosted it.
That's right. And you're on stage with Kasha Zed and Ruby Rose.
No shit,
Really?
And we all
him and
remember.
Ruby Rose.
Yes.
And look, hey, where is she now, huh? Where is she now?
We lived in an apartment together for like 2 nights.
That's right.
And it was just drinking.
We made them do 100 shots in 100 seconds.
And we all started vomiting.
Yes.
That's amazing.
All that kind of stuff you can never
Great
get away with
memories.
on television.
Great memories.
Yeah.
Great memories.
Just to lift the curtain, when before Darren's going to sing the Love Boat theme, I love Brodie, one of our producers, just comes out and hands him the lyrics.
Correct.
And Darren goes, "Hey mate, I know the lyrics to my own song."
Just in case,
in
though,
case.
because sometimes you get a bit,
Embarrassing.
Available to download on Spotify now. Please help me get to Christmas number 1.
I've got a confession for you. I actually probably won't need the lyrics for this because
You Captain Bang Bang?
It was the Bang Bang Suite.
Oh, sorry.
I've taken my Zithromax this morning, so I'm on fire. I won a $500 drink card at the Lemon Tree in Carlton.
Did you?
$500?
$500
Mate.
for standing on a table and singing this Word Perfect.
7:30.
I didn't get that royalty check,
Many
actually.
years ago.
You can't sing that without...
That might have been because you had your boobs out.
I
Not
did have-
because you sang it word
I
for
did
word.
have my, but maybe should I? No.
I can't sing without my prawn.
You ready? Exciting and new.
I'm aroused, John.
Yes.
Come aboard. What are we? We're expecting you.
And love. Da-da-da.
Life's sweetest reward.
Bang bang.
Let it flow.
It flows back to you.
This bit's hard in the morning.
Listen to his voice.
He's so good. No, you're too fast. It's not the first time you've heard that.
Hang would definitely be erect in the car. right now.
Definitely.
Tonight on Channel 10, The Love Boat. Darren, thanks for coming in.
You're the
Bring your
best.
Zithromax.
Ever wondered what happens in the studio? Check out Chrissie, Sam and Brownie on Instagram.
Melbourne, good morning. Chrissie, Sam and Brownie on Nova 100. Just give the atmosphere a sniff for us, Jonathan. What are you smelling?
coming.
What's coming?
The bomb. the rain bomb.
Earlier on, we were talking about Milli Vanilli off the back of this. And one of the great songs, of course, Milli Vanilli were a German-French R&B duo. Fab and Rob were their names.
German-French.
German-French, yes.
They were American.
No,
did I, John.
no, and there was a massive La Scandale because it turned out that Fab and Rob couldn't sing. They were just pretty. And there were 2 other men singing the songs, and then Fab and Rob. The dream is over.
They'd won Grammys, right?
Oh, yeah. It was massive. This album, everyone went straight out to Brash's or Sanity and purchased the vinyl. And then when it came out that we'd all been hoodwinked, we'd all been tricked, there was a ceremonial burning on St Kilda Beach. And I'm fairly sure this happened. I don't know whether it was just, maybe I made it up or dreamt it, but I clearly remember Peter Hitchener or someone in the 80s throwing to a story. Maybe Joe Pearson it was.
Joe. Somebody filling in.
Yeah. And there was a huge pyre of vinyl. I mean, stuff the environment. Who cares?
That black plastic smoke.
Who cares, man?
That toxic stuff.
On fire and disgruntled music lovers throwing their vinyl on it. I'm sure it happened. Rob from Langwarrin, you and I are of similar ages. Did this occur?
Absolutely, Chrissie. Good morning, all.
Yo.
As you know, firstly, I'd like to clear up. I know Rob and Fab were fake, but I'm not a fake. I can sing. I've got some golden vocal cords on me.
Of course,
but
Rob.
my brother and I were too young to go down to the burning. So we're at my grandparents' house in Morambina at the time. My brother bought the album off from Brash's, and we all loved the music. And as soon as we found out that Rob and Fab were fakes, I've just stolen his Milli Vanilli record. It's like, come on, let's go on the road, play Frisbee with it. So So my brother's chasing me down the street, saying, no, don't do it. I love the vinyl. I'm frisbeeing over his head and, rubbing it into the bitumen and scratching it, everything. Crying like a little baby. I said, don't worry about it, mate. They're fakes. There'll be better music, better bands, better singers, and he just didn't have a bar of it. And I've asked my parents, I said, can I have some light if you fluid in the matches just so I can burn on the road? It's like, no, don't play with fire. So frisbee was the next best thing, and I had a ball. My brother still sort of hates me to this day, but
that is a fitting reaction.
The only way to respond.
It's the only way. If you're not old enough to go down to the ceremonial burning at St Kilda Beach, thanks to that, Rob. And I'm glad that it did happen. I don't know whether I was always thinking, did I remember that wrong?
Or if you're in Murrumbeena, there was a ceremonial frisbee throwing competition.
Correct. Rob and his brother.
Bang there.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
The podcast.
Good morning, Melbourne, you cheeky squirrels. The rain's coming, but the sun is here. Samuel Pang. Is that a kombucha that we're pouring or a champs?
It's flash champers.
It's flash champs.
Good morning, everyone. I thought you were going to say the rain's coming and a storm's coming, because that's how I feel today.
Yeah.
I've got plenty of energy, good sleep. You know,
You're up and about.
ready to go.
I had a really good sleep too.
You always have good sleeps.
No, last night was
It's hot in here.
particularly good.
It's hot in here again, John. Isn't it? What have you been doing?
What is this? What is
Do you know this T-shirt, do you?
T-shirt.
I have. I do know.
Read out what it says, Fonny.
It says, geez Louise, what else?
Can you remember why is that famous? It's a famous quote now. For me.
I do remember, but maybe our listeners do not.
Well, it was an interview that you guys were doing with a guy called Tim Handley. Who's that?
He's a big-haired boy from one of those dating shows.
Royalty.
Right.
Royalty from Love Island. Something.
I was
Bachelor.
Bachelor. Thank you, Jackie.
Bachelorette.
This interview of yours was so bad. It was going off the rails. I could not believe what I was hearing. As in, I loved it. And then have a listen to your boy Dino just try to save it at the end.
Like, everyone keeps sliding in my DMs going, fire your shot, relax. It was like a year ago, hey.
Jeez. Louise. What else?
Right. And it's been memorialised on T-shirt now for eternity.
Didn't we giving these out? I grabbed mine quick.
Limited edition run of 20.
That's awesome.
Is that all?
I think so.
I wore it to bed the other night.
I was
cold.
That
It's
seems
my pyjama top.
disrespectful.
No, it feels...
No, hey,
should
it
be
was
having
close to my heart.
Exactly.
My favourite part of that is the pause between Geez and Louise. Because normally Geez Louise runs together. Geez Louise, but you said Geez first.
Louise.
And then your brain had to catch up and think, what the hell am I going to say
You know
next?
why? Because he was so
Jeez.
off mic.
Louise.
You noticed the start of it. He was listening. He was right back
Trying
at
to
the
run
interview.
away. Hey,
What else?
what else? Let's give away some money anyway. Who cares?
Wouldn't be a day at the Melbourne Cup Carnival without a...
Without a what? You got to call us on 13 24 10 at 8 o'clock.
Without a bachelorette royalty.
I'm not allowed to guess anymore.
No, aren't you?
That's no fun.
I know.
This is the Chrissie, Sam and Brownie podcast.
Is this tropical stuff, friend?
Yes, my friend.
Whoa.
Just want to sense the day, don't you?
I do.
Wednesday, October the 5th. Jonathan, you spoke very, very well earlier on about the debacle at the Essendon Football Club, where Andrew Thorburn quit as the CEO just after one day.
Monday, it's astonishing. Isn't it? Now in the search for a third CEO in 40 days.
After a furor, Swanee, over his involvement with a socially conservative church. So he lasted one day. So that
He's the chairman of he has been the chairman of the church as well. Just wanted to clarify that, Swanee. So,
Yeah.
You see, some people are religious. You don't necessarily
Yeah, you're
believe
allowed
in
to
some
have
of those things.
Exactly, but yeah,
If you're the chairman, it doesn't stand him in good stead.
not ideal.
To me, his quote was, "Today it became clear to me that my personal faith is not tolerated or permitted in the public square, or at least by some, and perhaps by many." Yeah, so he's talking about not being, not being tolerated or accepted. You know, much like the views of that church. It seems a disconnect there, John. They did get it right though by getting Brad Scott. We all love Brad Scott as a coach.
They did.
I missed this completely.
That was happened during the week. Got Brad Scott.
This is good.
John's premiership teammate.
Yeah.
and a wonderful man, a 10-year coach of North Melbourne. He was announced as coach of Essendon last week. So that's a good
middle name Walter. He wouldn't be happy I disclosed that.
That's what makes him the best pundit in the business.
What a name!
What a hot
Walter.
take!
It's information you can get nowhere else. Nova 100.
So Essendon, so they got it right, but now it's it's a bit shonky, a bit wonky, or whatever. Is everything going to be all right? They're going to get a new CEO today?
They'll get a new CEO. They'll be fine. But and under the steady hand of. Well, actually, I think you should. I think sometimes people use their second name. I think the Essendon Football Club needs a Walter in charge.
Wally Scott.
Imagine Wally Scott just walking
initials
out.
BWS.
Yes,
that's fantastic.
Very good by you, Dan.
Beer, wine, spirits.
Yes.
Fred Scott, ready to go. This should be the new sponsor.
Yeah, ready to go.
Twitter stock surges on reports Elon Musk again proposing buying the company. Who cares?
Who cares, man?
What prices have you dragged them down?
You know what? Imagine if it made headlines every time we were nearly going to buy something.
Yeah,
that's true. Hey, here's one for you, Swanee. Fans are thrilled that Velma. There is a clip. Velma from Scooby Doo. You ever watch Scooby Doo growing up?
Absolutely. It's one of mine.
One of the greats. So
it annoyed me, but I watched it because there was nothing else on.
Was it Scooby? I watching that show usually after school. Mate, those sandwiches that those boys were into was unbelievable, didn't they?
Was it a thinly veiled cartoon for stoners?
Oh, absolutely.
I reckon, yeah.
So currently making the rounds on social media, a clip from Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo finds Velma falling head over heels for Coco, the brilliant leader of a notorious costume crime syndicate.
Say that last sentence.
I'm going to say, Velma falls for Coco, who's the brilliant leader of a notorious costume crime syndicate. We've got a clip here.
Is this news because it's a same-sex situation? Okay.
Yes, because there's always been some word that Velma may have been gay, but this one here, she basically, Velma comes in and she turns and kind of clocks to Coco, and then the music, kind of comes in and she's in love.
And as promised, here are your Scooby snacks.
On like Donkey Kong, those two.
Hey, she's nailed the moment where you see someone that's hot, right?
Yeah.
Your knees go.
Let's listen to it again.
And as promised, here are your Scooby snacks.
One of the great feelings in life.
That happened to me recently when I met Denise Drysdale for the first time.
Yeah.
And it was unbelievable.
She is shoulder okay.
It happened to me when Dennis Walter came in.
God, I love him.
I love him too.
Hey, Creased, here's one for Jack. Creased clothing's in. Creased clothing is in. The catwalk shows all over Paris. I know you've been all over them, John. In the past week, they have shown evidence of an unlikely trend. Creases and wrinkles.
This is my time to shine,
what is the brand?
So, what's the brand? The brand's The Row, which is designed by the Olsen twins, I think.
Guys, I'm ahead of my time. I cut my iron. I cut my irons cord and put it in the hard rubbish collection about 10 years ago.
Really? You haven't been on it. You just hang them up.
Can't iron. I can't iron.
Did you have to cut the cord?
Yeah, because I didn't want somebody to take it and blow up their house.
The elegant, understated elegant look. That's the thing. This dishevelled but expensive look shows that someone's classy and rich. So that's So you and your iron, you
throw it away.
Throw it away. You stop ironing everything. You nerd, you loser.
I still do.
I know you do.
I iron things.
You're a good ironer.
I'll get in there and have a crack.
That was Crease clothing. And the last thing.
What else you got?
Hey, do steamers do all that job of an iron?
Yes, but much easier.
Yeah, they are easier.
I'll finish with some Pete Davidson news, one if that's all right.
Great, I'd love to.
So he's seemingly erasing his past with Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, he's living his best life.
Because he's sporting a bandage. Because remember, he got a tattoo.
I know. And we forecast that it was a bad move.
Mate.
So, mate, this ain't going to end well.
It seemed too soon, I must admit. However, it's an important time in his life to document, and I get that. But is he having second thoughts, Samuel?
Well, it seems, considering there's a bandage where he used to have a "My girl is a lawyer" tattoo. You know, man, right? That's he had that under it, so that's just coming through his t-shirt. My girl was a stripper. You know, that one's gone. No, that's the one I'm getting rid of. You know that, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Jesus,
do you want me to change your dressing?
I'm not kidding you. It's sore, by the way.
A lot of regrets. It's very similar to my old teammate Ash McGrath. Got the 3-peat premiership tattoo on his shoulder. However, he forgot the fact that he didn't play in the first two. He forgot this massive thing on his shoulder blade. He'd gone to the tattooist and goes, yeah, I'll have that tattoo like the rest of the boys have got. And the guys just used the standard stencil to use on all the other boys. But didn't realise that the first two were actually as part of the tattoo, 01 and 02.
So it's actually a tribute to you.
Exactly. Jeez, Louise.
Want to see what happens in the studio? Check it out on Facebook. Follow Chrissie, Sam and Brownie. Win a brand new Mitsubishi Mirage just by hearing one noise. Sam Pang's jokes aren't funny.
Here we go, Melbourne. Let's give away this Mitsubishi Mirage. All you got to do is make Sam Pang laugh. Let's kick things off with Denny from Flemington. Hello, Denny.
Hello.
You feeling Oh, I've got a really good feeling about this.
Have you?
Yep. Okay. Let's go, Den.
I've got two. What did the sock say to the foot?
What did the sock say to the foot?
Have you got cold feet or are you putting me on?
Good start, mate.
What does that mean?
I was just
Anyway.
putting socks on.
What do you got? The second one, Denny. Let's end big.
Okay, a policeman picked up two boys. One was drinking battery acid and the other one was eating fireworks. So he charged one and let the other one off.
Oh, good stuff.
Oh,
Good on you, Denny.
Couple of quick hitters early.
exactly.
You start us off. Good on you, Denny.
Good pace.
Yep.
I like
And
it,
also, I
Denny.
reckon, Denny, this is the first time you've been on this radio station. Is that correct?
Yeah, I tried to get through before, but they didn't accept my joke.
Yeah, that's all right, Denny. Mate, good, hey,
Big blue.
good stuff.
He could win 10K just by getting on the radio.
Really?
10K a day. Thank you, Denny.
All right, Denny.
Marie and Mulgrave, what do you got?
Oh, good morning. How are you?
Good.
What did the janitor say when he jumped out of the cupboard?
What did the janitor say when he jumped out of the cupboard?
Well, it wasn't wallet wizard, but it was supplies.
What?
I'm not.
Supplies.
I'm not kidding you. Where is? The,
Oh, supplies.
where is the nearest park?
Good stuff.
Hello, Marie. That was.
I got it. I don't
Behave
mind
yourself,
that.
That's up, John.
I don't mind that
I'm
one.
not kidding.
Supplies.
Supplies.
Yeah,
Supplies.
great stuff. Great stuff. Good show.
All the best, Marie, in
All the
life. Sam?
Are we on AM now, are we?
Yes.
Of course, the ages.
I love it. This is great. These are all new callers. Sam from Mill Park. Sammy.
Hi.
Hi. Are you a first-time caller?
I am, actually, yes.
Welcome, Sam.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, well, we'll see how well this goes anyway, but...
Hey, Sam, you know, it's your first time, Sam. I want to be nice and gentle and just be supportive, all right?
Good on you, mate. Yeah, that's
Get
good.
on with
Well,
it.
to fellow Sam.
Good on you, Sam.
Let's go,
Good on you,
Sammy.
mate.
Let's do it.
A guy rings 000, says, "What's your emergency?" I said, "I've just seen a car accident. A guy's been hit. He needs an ambulance." He said, "What's your location?" "I'm on Eucalyptus Street." Can you spell that, please?" "Sir, are you there?" Look, I'm going to drag him over to Pine Street and I'll call you back."
What do you know from Sunny
Brownie, Sammy.
Oh, Sammy.
Sammy, no.
Good on you, Sam.
No,
Worth
good.
a try.
Absolutely. Good fun.
I like him having a crack. Good on you, Sam. Ring back another time.
Did anyone
with
get
a
that?
better joke.
Did you get it?
Yeah, because eucalyptus is hard to spell.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. Pine is easy to spell.
Greg!
Hey, Greg.
Yeah. Hey, how you going, guys?
Good, mate. What do you got?
That's good. Okay, so Ed Harley, the inventor of Harley-Davidson motorcycle, dies and goes to heaven. And he gets sent to the inventors section of heaven. And Einstein's giving him the tour and they finish up down at the pub. And Ed gets blind when God walks in, the inventor of everything. And Ed gets stuck into him. That invention of yours, the woman. Fancy putting an intake valve so close to an exhaust valve. I'll give you points for the shape, but the noise, did you ever consider putting a muffler on that thing? On and on and on all night. Wakes up in the morning with a shocking headache. Einstein's rattling on his fly-wire door. He says, "You can't speak to the boss that way. You need to apologise." So he finds God and he says, "Listen, God, I'm really sorry about last night. I had way too much to drink and even more to say." And God says, "All is forgiven in heaven, my son. But just as a matter of interest, I looked down on earth last night And there was a lot more people riding my invention than there were riding yours.
You're upset, Rocky.
Jeez, it was well told, though.
It was.
Wasn't it? Did not miss a beat there.
There's a lot wrong with it, though. I'm just going to be out on my Pat Malone here.
No.
Not a great joke.
Kid's not quite in the car yet, but well told.
Good on
He's
you,
rolled that out. He's rolled that out at many birthday parties over the journey, Swanee.
Exactly. Good on you, Greg.
Yeah, I've done that a few times.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie.
You beautiful city. Still not a drop of rain on that road outside, John. You promised rain.
No, it's coming.
And
It's
as soon
coming.
as it drops, you've offered every listener, I think there's over 600,000 of them now or more, $10 each.
No, that's if it doesn't rain. It'll be here about lunchtime. It's just passing over Bendigo as we speak. Now I'm going to take you from
As we speak.
I'm going to take you to from Bendigo all the way to Ohio, just outside of Cleveland, at Gordon Park, where the Lake Erie Walleye Trail Championships, the fishing championships,
Wait a minute.
or loot.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing.
I know this story, and I am.
I love this.
All over.
It's one of the great stories. Now the Loot Championship, Swanee. It's like the Melbourne Cup of fishing.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. This is the big one. $100,000 worth of prize money over the journey, including $5,000 winners check. And it's been big. It's been big.
5,000.
Two competitors. It seems a bit light on. So
Does a
it's
bit.
spread around a little bit, but. Chase Kaminsky, no relation to Sandy Kaminsky from the Kaminsky Method, and Jake Runyon were caught.
It's astonishing detail.
Kaminsky and Runyon, they're up to no good when they were caught red-handed because, of course, they go out in the fishing thing, and once you've caught your fish, Swanee, then you have to come in and weigh them. Okay, they come off their boat, they weigh them. One of their fish, 33 pounds, which is 15 kilograms. In the new scale. Well, that came in as double.
30 kilos fish.
That came in as double the nearest competitor. So all of a sudden, eyebrows were raised.
Alarm bell.
Alarm bells were raised.
Similar size and length, but twice the weight.
Twice the weight. Because
Seems odd.
all the other competitors had their fish weighed, and as I say, didn't look much different in terms of length, span, girth, all those sorts of things. So the tournament director, Jason Fisher.
What a name!
Fisher.
Great name.
He had no choice. He had no choice in what job he was going
It's like
into.
that dentist in Sydney, Dr. Fang.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Fisher, he smelled a rat.
Yes.
He smelled a rat. So there in front of everyone for all to see around the scales. He called for a gutting. He said, time to gut the fish.
Oh, my God.
Call for a gutting.
That's never been said.
Time to gut the fish.
It's like in football, you call for, if you think there's too many out there, you call for a head count.
Yes.
He's called for a gutting.
That's
amazing.
great.
Which doesn't happen very often.
No.
In the world of the fishing championships, this doesn't happen very often. Well, in the gutting process, he was successful because several heavy weighted balls fell out of the gut of the fish.
And I'm guessing that the fish hadn't consumed these in the wild.
No, they had not consumed it. Now, I've got audio of this happening, so you can imagine there's 100 blokes standing around watching the scales, and when Fisher has called for the gutting, he's done the gutting.
Imagine how Runyon feels and Kaminsky feel about this.
Well, they were nervous. They were nervous, Swanee. They didn't have anything to say. Their heart rate was 180.
Burbick and Babbage.
Yes.
They were. Yes. Well, when Fisher gutted the fish and these lead balls rolled out of the gut, just have a listen to the crowd's reaction.
We got weights and fish. There we go. You've been doing this shit for years. Cheating mother. You got a boat. You got thousands of dollars. Everybody listen to me right now. I don't want anybody to touch these guys. I want you to go to jail.
You've got to go to jail.
We're playing that again.
I was throwing cans at Kaminsky and Runyon.
That is the story of the year.
Oh, it was magnificent.
Fantastic.
Do you want to see what this looks like? Well, get the visuals on Instagram. Follow Chrissie, Sam and Brownie. Colin Fassnidge, a chef who has worked alongside people like Gordon Ramsay and Raymond Blanc. And if you like Sam...
I don't know who Fassnidge is.
He's an Irish cook.
Ah, yeah.
Chef, I should say. Apologies. Apologies. Very handsome. Very handsome Irish cook.
Thank you, Chrissie. Catch Kitchen Nightmares. It starts October 12 on 7 and 7 Plus. Watch the uncensored version. It's always better. Here's Fassnidge.
Well, I didn't know that audio was going to be played in front of the great man, Colin Fassnidge. Welcome to the show.
Who's Sam?
Sorry, Colin. We've got off on a bad foot, and I apologise for that, Colin. Have you, in my defence, have you done much Australian television?
Nah, this is my first. Just started yesterday.
Okay, great.
He's done heaps of television, Sam.
Mate, what's wrong
Oh
with
my
you?
God, this is so embarrassing. Colin, I'm taking the reins here. I'm a huge fan of.
Stay out of this, Sam.
Sorry, Colin.
Huge fan of Kitchen Nightmares, and I think you're going to be amazing in it. The great secret ingredient in Kitchen Nightmares is that the restaurants and the cafes are run by people that are utterly deluded. Have we been able to source these people here in Australia?
I think it's not that we sourced them; they were already there, and they were begging to get on TV. Nah, look, it's a very Australian story. I think, like, it is quite funny, and they are delusional. But if you're in a restaurant land, which I am, it's been a tough while. You know, we've had fires, we've had floods, we've had COVID.
Okay.
So the show is, you know, it is a bit of tough love, and it's quite funny. But we do want the best for them. Believe it or not, we do want the best, because there's no point going in screaming and shouting after, you know, the last 3 years, because people are already on their knees and they're just begging for help. So it is actually a great Australian story.
Oh, well, that's a good angle.
Good.
I didn't realise that. I just thought, have you seen the great episode of Kitchen Nightmares, the ABC Bakery with Gordon Ramsay and those two deluded people? I was looking forward to that, but this sounds a lot more uplifting.
Well, you see, I loved the English version of Kitchen Nightmares because it was quite funny and he helped them. And then when I went to America, it sort of went a bit array, and I was like, I'm not really into this, you know.
Jeez, you don't hold back on them, though. You got up and in one episode, 53 F-bombs, Colin.
I think that was from the people of the stunning Daily Mail, who can barely write, never mind get the news across.
Bang.
I reckon that was more the person in the restaurant rather than me.
Right.
Well, you know, Daily Mail. Let's not call out the Daily Mail.
No.
No. It's the home of truth. I go to it every day, Colin, to find out where Chrissie's walking.
Colin, can I? It's a genuine question. When you come in and fix up these places, is the simple answer that there's too much on the menu, that it's too busy, that it's too complicated all the time, and they need to pare things back?
Sorry, who just asked that question?
Done much, Sam, in this country before?
We've never met, but I think Colin and I would get along all right.
I've seen him on an ad. All right, what are we talking about? The menu? Yeah, like if you go in, imagine you go into a cafe and it's got 50 dishes on there, right? And there's one bloke standing in there and it's not very busy. Can you imagine how long there's 50 tubs or containers of different dishes sit in that fridge?
Exactly.
Yes.
I don't like a menu that's too big for that reason.
Yeah, there's a couple of shockers out there. I forgot how bad some stuff can get because we do everything by the book, and then you're like, oh my God, like I've eaten frozen oysters. That get taken from the freezer straight into a bowl of hot water in a sink where there was dirty cloths, plasters, and then put on a dish and served. I've had frozen fish that's just warmed in a little bowl and then put in the pasta. Mate, I have seen some wrong town dishes.
Here in Australia, did that happen to you?
That's called a show, Chrissy.
Oh, my God. I am watching this. Starts October 12. When's that? Next week?
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday on 7 and 7 Plus. Your network, Sam?
Yeah, Colin and I are stable mates, and, you know, that's why we're so close.
Are you a fan of Sam's football show on a Thursday night called Front Bar, Colin?
Unfortunately, I think I was cutting my toenails then when that was on. Very busy.
Hey, Jesus, it's gone. Take a turn.
This won't end this feud.
Next time we should do it in studio. I should come visit Sam.
Yes, please.
Studio nightmares.
I would love it. If you came in to clean this show up, you'd have to put someone on.
Yes.
Cannot wait for this. Kitchen Nightmares Australia. Colin's going to go off. starts next week. 7 and 7+. And there's an uncensored version as Mount.
Yeah, I like that one.
I'd love to have you in the studio.
Yeah, mate, there'll be a little feud tomorrow in Daily Mail. Sam and Colin.
Oh, God.
Chrissie, Sam, and Brownie.
The podcast.
Good morning, Melbourne. Is today the day you win $25,000 or $10 from Brownie if it doesn't rain?
Yeah.
Your choice.
Well, you're not going to win $10.
Rain check, John, because there's not one bit of rain on that Victoria Street right now.
It's at Ballarat, and the last time I looked at a map, Ballarat's pretty close, especially if you go down the Ballarat Highway, Swanee, or the Western Highway, whatever it is.
I looked at the radar too, by the way. You wouldn't want that to be a CAT scan of your brain. You know what I mean?
It is time for Sam's Random Thoughts.
Where do you go to, my lovely, when you're alone in your bed?
I go down to the sex dungeon.
You asked
for 5 to 7 minutes. Listen, random
5
thoughts.
to 7 minutes.
Very specific.
Very specific. Hey, I just write down some thoughts. There's no real rhyme or reason to them, and I read them out to you. For instance, quality of guests improved. Tick. Now, this is I say that now that I think about it because I've realised that the quality of guests in our 7 years, I don't think at the start. We've had a cull, if you know what I mean. I think that some of our qualifications for what makes a good guest have changed, and the quality of guest has improved. And this year it's been so good that I haven't. This is the example as to why I know this has happened because I haven't played this once.
Chrissie, Sam, and Brownie. Sam will be back in just 6 minutes.
Remember, that's there ready to go anytime. If an interview starts and I'm not liking it, that's there ready to go.
I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, I feel that we may have hit that had you been in the studio for Darren McMullen, host of The Love Boat this morning.
Hey, you take that back.
No, that was pre-interview though, Swanee saying that.
I loved it.
Before, but the interview was great.
I loved it, but I feel like Sam may have hit that button if you were here.
In that interview? Why?
I'd be for it.
Because you're a judgmental person.
There you are, judgy.
Yeah.
Judgy.
More people should judge.
True or false? Everyone in this studio is more interesting than a lot of our guests. True or false?
I find you to be the most interesting person.
I find you to be interesting, Brownie and Dino
least
and
interesting.
Chrissie. A what?
The least interesting.
Yeah, you're a loser.
Bullshit.
We don't want to blow each other's trumpets.
Nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't have
Whatever that means.
All right, moving out.
I've got
I
a
just
random.
made that up.
I've got a random thought on the way home. I
Trombones.
was just thinking about on the way home from Queensland the other day on the plane. Why is it that we always? Why are Pringles such a big thing only when you're sitting on a plane? Like, for some reason, when the airline trolley comes on. So you go into any service station or supermarket, you don't go for Pringles.
No, you don't.
But every time that airline trolley is coming down the aisle, straight away your mind goes to Pringles.
Yes, I'm gonna offer something.
Yeah.
I think the reason that you can get Pringles on the plane and no other packets of chips is that they're less noisy. There's not the rustling
Really?
and and you know
That makes sense.
Yeah, because imagine if everybody was rustling the superior chips, Smith's salt and vinegar.
That's why
Brownie,
you're the best.
Cheese and onion.
Sam's random thoughts?
That is a great random thought.
although in
by
Have
saying
you
Brad.
that-
ever thought of that, though?
No, that's what I'm saying. Random thoughts is a good idea. If you want it, by the way, I'm happy to swap segments because that's my next point on my random thoughts. Swap segment swap, it says here. Right, for instance, so we've got a lot of segments.
Yeah.
Some would say too many if you're management. But we like segments, but you know what I mean? They seem very specific, you know, like Ask Brownie or Random Thoughts or Mystic Chrissie. I thought we just swap segments for a week.
I have been thinking about this, and I was going to ask your permission to insert myself into one of
No.
yours.
No, what is it? Which one? Because which one? Which one's funny?
I really love Tune or Not a Tune, and I really want to co-op it.
Not a chance. No, you know what? You should have it because I thought about segment swapping, like, you know, Mystic Chrissie. Well, what about Mystic Sam?
Psychic Sam.
Mystic Sam.
Psychic Sam.
All right, we'll do Psychic Sam.
Oh, that's all?
Yeah, and then so I did a test run.
Yeah.
So I don't know. See what you think. Okay, we've got Jerry on the line. Good morning, Jerry.
Oh, hi, Sam.
Okay, I see a wedding.
Oh, well, actually, I just got married 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, of course you did. I see a honeymoon.
What? We're going on our honeymoon this weekend.
Yeah, nailed it again. I see a boat.
Yeah. There's like a little boat trip in there. It's gonna be awesome.
Mate, I'm on fire here. Now, I see a shark.
What?
Jerry, I see your wife being snatched out of the boat by a great white.
What?
Jerry, I see the ocean water run red with blood and you forever haunted by the screams of your lost love.
What?
Your wife is dead.
What? Why?
Suck it up, Jerry. Now you make that segment.
Suck it up, Jerry.
Suck it up, Jerry.
I love how Jerry's broken going, why?
Yeah. Well, it's not a good sign when the ocean water runs red with blood, Brownie. We all know that. That's a lesson for life.
Was his wife an Irish fisherman? He was an alcoholic Irish fisherman.
It's a Jaws reference. Look
you.
it up.
Sure is.
Hey,
Next week we're doing Mystic Sam. Could you swap it out?
I'm
See what
happy to.
happens?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that would have been
No.
enough. But anyway,
No.
I think it'll get better than that. Hey, this is my last one because I think we're running out of time. When you're giving out your mobile number, you know, give out, what's your number? And you give it.
0402.
Save some time. Get rid of the 04. You ever anyone have a mobile number that doesn't start with 04?
Exactly.
So if the number is 0412 555 666, all mobiles begin with 04. To save time, you just say, hey, what's your number? And you go 12 555 666.
What are you going to do?
What else do you want from me?
What do you got? This is something else I want from you. You've just saved yourself a second.
2 seconds.
Nah, one.
Nah.
What do you, nah. Well, time this.
It's over your
I'm
life.
looking.
You know,
04. It's 1 second.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with that extra
But
second?
the amount of times I'm out and I give out my number, that's going to save a lot of time.
Is it?
Yeah.
I started giving out
Who
fake.
are you giving your number to?
Chicks.
I used to give out fake numbers, but I got it all wrong when I used to lead with 06, 04.
You
Hang on
lost
a
it
minute.
from the start.
No, I did. Yeah, it was up.
By the way,
The ruse was up.
Whose phone number did you read out before when you gave the example?
Made it up.
Okay.
Denise Scott's. All right, that's some random thoughts.
I love it.
Good.
Oh, thank you, John.
This is the Chrissie, Sam and Brownie podcast.
Good morning, Melbourne. 5th of October. 11 degrees in the metro area. It's Chrissie, Sam.
What are you laughing at?
I'm a time and temp man.
We were laughing because during that break we were talking about how originally, Swatty, the management here wanted Dino. That role was supposed to do the songs and do time and temperature.
What a
and
waste.
This man, he just took it and just ran with it.
Sounded good, though.
The two things you cannot do, by the way.
Hey, where's the rain, by the way?
Didn't you say
Rain
it was
Man?
9 degrees?
11, I said.
Oh, okay.
You're a funny man.
You got that wrong.
Where's the rain, real quick, before Swanee?
Not far away, about back as Marsh.
Sure, mate. Sure.
I feel like I'm changing, and it's not in a good way. A couple of friends this week have texted me going, hey, what's up? And I go, nothing, I'm very dull. I think I've become very dull. I get excited by things like Chris Martin today from Coldplay. He's had he's been ordered to have 3 weeks rest. That sounds amazing to me.
Yeah, you prayed for a lung disease.
Prayed for it just to have rest. I brought to the table this week another good idea that I saw in The Age. Dinner at 4 p.m. What's happened?
Yeah,
Is this what's happening to me?
That was I had a problem with that.
Yeah, I know, because you're a late night guy.
No, but also because you said I've got this article here about dinner. There's a new time for dinner in Melbourne, 4 o'clock, and then you read out an article that had the person dining at 6. You're going, where did you just made up for? Because you want to eat earlier.
No. Other restaurants were 4 p.m.,
really?
but sort of the Billie Eilish version of 4 p.m. is 6 p.m. I mean, that's very obvious to everybody.
Breakfast for paying 4 p.m.
All right.
Maybe it's got anything to do with you've given up the drink, Swanee.
Maybe. And I've got
found time.
Yeah, and also I'm obsessed with sleep and rest, and I have to work that in. Howard Stern, I feel, is one of mine.
Oh, yes.
Because he has not left his house. This is not a joke. In over 2 years, has not.
2 years.
By the way, I know you were trying to muffle that yawn then straight into the microphone, but I saw it, Sam.
I was 2 years as in, that's not a
you
good
were
thing.
looking at me like this. You went like that. You yawned. You were muffling a yawn.
He paints in his...
You were. Just say yes.
I will not say yes. It wasn't a yawn.
It was a yawn.
I was thinking how 2 years is probably not that healthy, but it's how it's done.
All right, I take it back. It wasn't a yawn.
Yeah, good. Take it back.
2 years. He's been inside and he's finally left the house. He went out for dinner. And this is a gang that'd get you out, that'd lure you out. God, where are they? Jimmy Kimmel. He sounds like fun. Jennifer Aniston. John Hamm. I know why I'm looking at you like that about
Ham is an absolute...
Ham has got a
could
Christmas...
be in a stable, if you know what I mean.
Yes, he could.
He's got a Christmas ham.
Yes.
In his pants.
Whoa.
He's got a fair leg bone. Ham leg bone.
Yeah. John Hamm off the bone.
That's right.
We did it. We perfected radio.
You really workshopped that and got there in the end. Well done, you guys.
Join.
No, I'll be right.
Have you got anything?
No,
Come on.
Got anything?
No.
John grandmother's ham.
Yes.
Got a hair. You got a fair hock. Is that right? Is that what you're doing? Yeah, all right. I don't know.
Accurate Awards. See you soon.
God help me.
He's got a fair hock.
I don't know what you're doing.
Anyway, Justin Theroux was there and Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman is mine.
Justin Theroux and
Jennifer Aniston.
They're still friends.
Well done. You were listening. You had your listening ears on.
Well, only
What a
because
good
he was the
boy.
baddie in Jackie Charles's favourite movie, Charlie's Angels Full Throttle.
Correct. Was he?
What a film.
Oh, yeah.
Justin Theroux and Jennifer Aniston used to go out, and I think she's a nice girl. She keeps friends with her exes.
Used to go with Ross.
Yeah, she did originally.
Well done, John. She did used to go out with Ross.
No, you are. This is just
Well done.
say whatever's coming into your mind at the moment, isn't it? It's just whatever you do, whatever you want.
Anyway,
Good on
he
you.
went out the first time in 2 years. He ventured out of the house and he continued on about the dinner. He said, it was too much for me. It was too much. I haven't been out in 2 years. I said to my wife, I don't want to go. I'm in a panic. How do I greet people? Do you remember the first time you went out for lunch after the pandemic?
Yes.
I was so nervous because I'd forgotten how to interact.
It was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then I just came home and sat like a sloth on the couch, like shocked.
It was an elbow tap, remember?
And yes, that's
elbow
right.
tap.
The same elbow you'd sneezed into with COVID.
Yeah. And I got 3 weeks for hitting Fabian Francis with.
Yes, John.
That's okay.
Wow,
It's okay. I got off an appeal.
Wow, there's been some stuff.
Who would
Big
get you
fella.
out of the house?
You.
Yes.
Dino would, absolutely, every day of the week. But I do understand that. And Y/N, is he going to go out again or is he back in the compound, never to be released?
From the sounds of that, I'd go with N.
Yeah, he's staying at home from now on.
Ever wondered what happens in the studio? Check out Chrissie, Sam and Brownie on Instagram. Wil Anderson, comedian, author and television host on things like Groin and Question Everything, which is more topical comparative to things like why do people only feel like Pringles on a plane? That, of course, won't be a question on the show, which is on 8:30 Wednesdays on the ABC and ABC iView. He's also got a book coming out and the podcast Philosophy is returning for 2 shows. I tell you, there's a lot going on for Willie boy. Here he is.
There is a lot going on. We will get to Question Everything, Will, in a second, but I saw your face light up at the mention of aircraft Pringles. Your thoughts?
Well, here's what I'm going to say. There is a real reason for that. I can actually answer that one. So your taste buds are different at that altitude, which is why like the salt and stuff reacts to your taste buds differently, so they taste better up there. That is literally a thing that happens. It's why people also crave tomato juice and Bloody Marys and stuff like that when they're on planes more than they do when they're on land. So yeah, there's an actual reason.
That is amazing. Yeah, well, I was sitting on the plane the other day and I just thought, Sam's got a segment called Random Thoughts, and I just thought of Sam's segment on the way home when I was thinking, why do I always think of Pringles when I see the airline trolley but nowhere else? And everyone else does as well.
It's true.
So there's obviously a
It
real
tastes-
reason.
Based on what Will says, too, your taste buds might be different at the front of the plane where you sit, as opposed to back, where everyone else is. Too.
That was what I was thinking too, Sam. I was like, when was the last time Brownie saw a trolley full of Pringles?
Turn
That's
right.
what they're doing up your end of the plane.
He's not
Yeah, with an individual Pringle.
He has not turned right in 25 years, Will.
Is this true, Jonathan?
It's correct.
So tired.
I enjoy it, though.
I love that Brownie has a little list of things that ordinary people do that he occasionally tries to slip in. He's like, how about those Pringles on the trolley?
I was mowing my lawn on Saturday morning. Hey, Will, I want to talk to you about Jan Fran, who I find...
paid for a beer.
No, come on now. No one's going to believe that.
You're going too far, Will.
No one's going to believe that. I want to talk to you about Jan Fran, who you do question everything with. Just tell me something about her.
I don't know. She had a baby. Did you know that she had a baby?
Yes, I did.
In between last season and this season, she's had a baby.
Something unrelated to her reproduction status. I just find her so interesting and funny.
Okay, well, there's a lot. Yeah, she's both interesting and funny. But here's what I like about her the most is, like, I say Jan Fran, but the way she pronounces it is if it's one name. Have you noticed that? It's Jan Fran. She introduces herself as Jan Fran, like she's like Madonna or like one of those Bono single name people, Jan Fran.
Ronaldo.
And like I really Elbow, Brownie. It hasn't been easy under Albanese.
No.
Jan Fran.
Jan Fran.
Jan Fran.
So what's her full first name? Is it Janet or is it just Jan?
Yes. No, it is, and Francis. It's all abbreviated.
Yes.
So she's gone with the tight abbreviation. What I will say though, is sad news this morning. Can I talk about Giselle and Tom Brady? Have you guys been talking about this?
Yeah, look, they've spoken to a divorce lawyer, so things are not looking good. Will.
You know, I had to track him down, Will. We've got this another segment in the house. I feel like I'm just telling Will about our
Why don't you
segments.
just send Will the minutes of the show? Would that make it easier?
If you could run us through all the segments, Brownie, I'd appreciate that.
I had to track down Tom Brady to get him onto this show. That was my celebrity to chase down, and it was it was a bit cold. It was met with brick walls, wasn't it, Swan? We just couldn't find it. We couldn't get him on, and now this is the reation why we couldn't get him on.
What are your thoughts on it, Will?
Well, firstly, there is no evidence that this is actually happening, right? They literally just live in a big house. He might be in a different room and hasn't seen her for 3 months. She's like, where are you? She's like, I'm down in the front room. So firstly, there's that. Secondly, we know that Tom Brady is not a one-team player. Like in his career, he has moved from franchise to franchise.
She knew
this. He's had a lot of success at Giselle, but occasionally he's got to move on. And there is a big market of 25, 26-year-old models who have just broken up with Leonardo DiCaprio that are out there and need
free agents.
It's a buyer's market for Tom. Right? It's a buyer's
Get
market.
back into the market. I mean, this is your classic case of somebody, when they retire from work and they realise that they actually hate their partner and they have to be like, imagine the world you live in where you love playing football more than you love Giselle.
Yeah.
I mean, that is...
Yeah, it's a good point.
I know. It is a worry. It is a worry.
It's not like he hasn't been at the top of the mountain. He's won 7 Super Bowls, so you think he'd be satisfied.
Well, I think that's the problem, isn't it? Like Giselle gave him one ring and football's given him 7 rings. So it's done the maths.
I actually think their marital woes are not to do with the struggle with monogamy. I think Giselle's annoyed at him not unpacking the dishwasher and doing all those.
He lasted 40 days.
Father things.
40 days. He retired.
Yeah, for 40 days.
Yeah.
40 days and 40 nights.
40 days. 40 days at home in a mansion with the world's most beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And
Hell.
This is no good.
I think it was the plot for How to Lose a Guy in 40 Days.
Not for me.
Like, I took the day off for the Queen's Day of Mourning. I took a day off for Coolio's Day of Mourning. And Tom Brady can't take 40 days home in a mansion with Giselle.
Will, did you have any Coolio interactions over your years in radio and telly?
Well, I don't think that I did, unfortunately. Like, I have been wearing my cornrows at half-mast for the last week, just respect to the great man, So, no, I don't think I ever met Coolio, but this was the thing that I've loved about the coverage of Coolio since was, like, every single story seems to be that, like, Coolio was Coolio, right? Like, he seemed like quite a nice guy.
He was. We met him only a few weeks ago. He was gorgeous.
And then there's everyone's got video footage of him just like going home to their house after a gig, like party and stuff. And I'm like, that is just like, I would just be happy for the rest of my life. I wouldn't have to do anything else if it just one night Coolio had been at my place. Like I was just like, mate, this is my gangster's paradise. Coolio is here, I am happy.
Will, we probably have to wrap things up, but I do want to talk to you about your book, I Am Not Fine, Thanks, which is available on pre-order. Give us a little synopsis about that. It sounds like a must-have.
It's about the last couple of years and everything that went on in the world, right? And like how we can't ask people how they are anymore because I don't want to say I'm fine, thanks. And part of the reason is, Sam, I like this one, which is that World War III is still going and it barely makes the news most days. And the guy in charge of Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky, now you guys will know this, that Vladimir Zelensky was a comedian. He was a comedian who went on Ukrainian TV and played the president of Ukraine on Ukrainian TV. And people were so impressed by his performance that they made him the president of Ukraine.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Stand-up.
That is one of the most amazing stories of all time. That isn't like instead of giving him the gold logie, we went to John Wood. You're just a cop now. You are the chief of police.
Give him a
handgun. So impressed by this. Give John Wood a gun. Give Lisa McCune a gun. They are cops now. They are officially in. And people in Australia loved this when they heard this because like they were like, oh my God, Sean McAuliffe played the Prime Minister on TV. Sean McAuliffe could have been the new Prime Minister of Australia. But here's the thing. Melbourne, we'd vote for Sean McAuliffe. Then the votes would come in from far north Queensland and Western Australia and the new Prime Minister would be Kevin Bloody Wilson.
Absolutely. It could go so wrong. Catch Will and Jan Fran on Question Everything, 8:30 Wednesdays on the ABC and ABC iView. As usual, a bloody pleasure, Wil Anderson.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Will.
you.
Chrissie, Sam and Browny.
It's been a lot of fun, but possibly the biggest revelation came from Jonathan.
Absolutely. Just hang on for a couple of minutes here. I'm going to take you over to Ohio, where Chase Kaminsky and Jake Runyon were in the, I'm going to call it the Melbourne Cup of Fishing. Big fishing competition, Swanee.
Yeah, is that what you're going to call it?
Kaminsky and Runyon.
Kaminsky and Runyon.
Great. It sounds like a jeweller's.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. They do, don't they? But they're no good, Kaminsky and Runyon.
No.
Because at the weigh-in, where you come in with all your fish, with your catch, and you put them on the scales, well, obviously it's whoever's got the heaviest fish one.
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden, Kaminsky and Runyon, their fish were weighed, and their fish weighed twice as much as the nearest competitor.
Despite being the same length.
To the eye.
To the eye. So Jason Fisher.
He smelled a rat.
Smelled a rat. The judge, he called for a gutting. A ceremonial gutting.
A public gutting.
Public gutting.
I'm calling for a gutting. Something's not right here.
Something's not right. So he decided to gut the fish with about 100 of the fellow competitors all standing around just to see what happened. And unbelievably, some lead balls rolled out of the fish's guts.
Imagine what that would have sounded like if the crowd was watching.
Well, Swanee, fortunately enough for us, we had some audio there.
We got weights and fish. There we go. Out of here. They've been doing this shit for years. Cheating motherfucker. You got a boat. You got thousands of dollars. Everybody listen to me right now. I don't want anybody to touch these guys. I want you to go to jail.
I need to go to jail.
What about this? You've got a boat. You've got thousands of dollars. It's like, what else do you need?
Kaminsky and Runyon. I can see that it's in Hollywood. The script writers are doing it now.
Oh yeah, it was a great story. So they didn't win the first prize, Swanee, which was $5,000. So unfortunately, the audio sounded a little bit like the Brisbane Lions supporters out the front of the Gabba after me and Blackie's last 2 years.
Chrissie, Sam and Brownie. Ripper Show will be back tomorrow. Chrissie, Sam and Brownie. Oh, unless it's a weekend.
Over 100.